And good morning, good morning, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're logging in from, of course. My name is Johnny Williams. I am your host here on the Motivational Minutes. Welcome. Today, interesting day. Today's topic, this is number 15 of 16. Today's topic is going to be on the subject of tolerance. Okay. So before I go into that topic, before I go into the details of this subject, I want to of course, do our recap because we're almost done now. So let's go back. Our initial meeting was formation of our mastermind. And so once we form our mastermind alliance, which if you go back and you review, now remember, we're learning from this book. This is the Law of Success, Napoleon Hill. You go back, you form your mastermind. Your mastermind is the foundation of everything else that's going to follow, right? So you form your mastermind alliance, and then you put together your definite chief aim. So once you've put together your definite chief aim, you you then have to have the self-confidence to pursue that definite chief aim. Um, from self-confidence, we developed our habit of spending, our habit of saving, breaking the habit of spending, cultivating the habit of saving. Very important that in order to reach any measure of great success, that you have to develop a habit of putting money aside that will then compound and make more money. The money begins to generate its own profit. We then went into our having the right initiative and leadership qualities to carry you, to propel you forward. We talked about having an imagination, a type of imagination that would overcome any obstacle. Imagination is something that we've all got. We all came here with these active imaginations, and until someone just squashes them, works them out of us. They kill our imaginations. Everybody becomes this robot, and they walk around working, or they walk around moping, and no one puts any of their imaginative juices to work to build a great future for themselves. So if you can imagine yourself doing something, that's the first step in actually achieving that thing. So start cultivating your imaginations. We then went to enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is very important. You got to stay happy, and because people will rally around you once you show an excitement about a particular subject. We then went into self-control. We went into the habit of doing more than paid for. We then talked about having a pleasing personality. That's very important to success. People they gravitate to you. If you've got a pleasing personality, people just want to be around you. They want to talk to you. They want to hear what you have to say. So you want to cultivate a pleasing personality. We then went into accurate thought. You have to have a mindset of success. You have to eliminate failure from your vocabulary, unless, of course, you're looking at your failures, because that was one of our lessons. Failures are learning. They're opportunities for advancement and learning and making something better of yourself. We then went into concentration, being able to focus your efforts to a particular goal, aim, concentrating yourself to achieve that goal or aim, and letting nothing deter you, including temporary defeat, or what we would call failure. That was, then we followed by cooperation. No one succeeds on their own. We always need others around us, either buoying us forward or supporting our efforts in whatever it is that we're trying to achieve. We then talked just most recently about profiting from failure, or overcoming adversity, and learning lessons from what temporary defeats have to offer. Because there is no failure, there's only an opportunity to learn and move forward. So today we're going to cover tolerance. Tolerance is about teaching you how to avoid the disastrous effects of racial, religious, What is this? Something is trying to end my meeting. Uh-oh. Sorry, guys. Having technical difficulties. Okay, let's put this over here. I'm not sure why that happened, but I just repaired it. Okay. It's the disastrous effects of racial, religious, and religious prejudices, which mean the defeat of millions of people who permit themselves to become entangled in foolish arguments over subjects, thereby poisoning their own minds and closing the door to reason and investigation. This lesson is the twin sister of the one on accurate thought, for the reason that no one may become an accurate thinker without practicing tolerance. Intolerance closes the book of knowledge and writes on the cover, Finis, done. I have learned it all. Yeah. Intolerance makes enemies of those who should be friends. It destroys opportunity and fills the mind with doubt, mistrust, and prejudice. So, as we now go into this topic of intolerance, I'd like to tell you a little story. That's how Dr. Hill gets a lot of his points across. He gives us examples. He tells us stories. Well, here's a story. The year was 1976. The new Star Wars film had just debuted. It had just come out. 1976, I was 20 years old. It just made 20. And life seemed to be this wonderful, open. I had never experienced raw hate or aggression or intolerance ever in my life. But I digress. Let me get back. So here's Star Wars. And so my girlfriend and I went downtown Chicago. I'm originally from the Windy City, Chicago, Illinois, which by coincidence is one of the most segregated places in this country, which as a child, I did everything I could to not fall victim to segregation. I intentionally went to a school that was diverse. I went to De La Salle Institute in Chicago, Illinois, which was a wonderful place to get an education if you didn't allow yourself to be influenced by the intolerance of others. Well, my girlfriend and I are walking down the street. It's late at night. This movie was over, and it was dark. It was late, and we were bothering no one. We were on Michigan Avenue. Michigan Avenue, the Magnificent Mile, last place you would ever expect any kind of weirdness. At least if you're not from Chicago. I didn't expect it. I'm from Chicago. I didn't expect it at the time. I had only lived 20 years. I thought that people in this city were more progressive and that things were changing at that time. Well, so we're walking down the street, and just in front of us were a couple of black guys, right? And so these men were walking. They were minding their own business. A car starts cruising next to us, and they start hurling insults at these guys. The N word, yeah, calling just for no reason, just in the middle of the night, just yelling it out their car window, trying to provoke a response. Well, these men ignored them. They just continued to walk. I was 20 at the time, so my level of patience was not as it is now. My level of tolerance was high because like I said, I had gone to this diverse school, so I saw no color. I saw no barrier to what we were. Excuse me. And so, sorry about that, guys. And so I ignored them too. Well, they decided to start hurling their insults at me. And as they hurled them at me, I thought to myself, this is really immature of these guys. This is so unnecessary and petty. I've done nothing to them. They don't know me. So I just turned to them and I said, you know what? You are very immature. I yelled, you're immature. You grow up. This is what I yelled. I did not yell insults. I did not hurl epithets at them. I told the truth. These men or boys, call them what you will, were immature and they were childish. Well, as soon as I called them out for what they were, they stopped their car in the middle of Michigan Avenue. Check it out now, Magnificent Mile. Stopped their car dead in the middle of the street. I couldn't believe it. Why are they stopping their car? Doors open up. The car doors fly open. These guys jump out of this car. Unbelievable. they start running at me and my girlfriend. And so I'm like, I know these guys aren't about to attack us on Michigan Avenue in front of a world full of people, right? The thousands of people around us. You know, Michigan Avenue stays busy late into the night, especially this was, I think, a Saturday night. Make a long story short, these guys actually started trying to attack us. So as I'm fending them off, you know, fighting, literally fighting for my girlfriend and I thought was our lives, other cars began to stop. So I thought, well, these people are stopping so that they can help us. Clearly, they can see that we are a young black man and his girlfriend walking down the street, and we're being attacked by it was four or five of these guys that were attacking us. People start stopping their cars. I'm thinking they're stopping their cars because they wanted to be of assistance. Lo and behold, these people were stopping their cars to help these guys attack us. Can you believe that? So this crowd, was four or five hooligans, suddenly was growing into a mob, into a crowd of angry white people. I couldn't believe we hadn't done anything. They didn't know what had transpired. So why were these people stopping their cars to attack us? I couldn't understand it. Intolerance. Intolerance is a learned behavior. Intolerance will destroy our country. Intolerance is something that we can all do without. It's it holds us back from becoming what we can truly become. America is a great place. America was always a great place, even before the Europeans came here and appropriated it from the Native Americans. But America could be a wonderful place again if we can get rid of this this thing that hangs over our heads. This unwillingness to accept diversity. In a country that has a constitution that espouses equality for all, here we are in the year 2020 still having to grapple with this issue of diversity. Let's face it, white people, let's face it, anybody. Diversity is going to be here forever. There will always be a variety of people, different colors. The world is a melting pot. It was created to be a melting pot so that we could learn from each other, so that we could help better each other, so that we could move into a future that's that promises enlightenment and hope and joy, peace for all of us, our children, our grandchildren, our grandchildren's grandchildren. I'm asking each and every one of you, no matter what you've been told, no matter what you believe to be the issue to be about any particular race of people, there are no races. There's only one race. I'll say that. There's only one race. That's the human race. You belong to the human race. I belong to the human race. My melanocytes just happen to be a little bit more active than other people's. This is why I'm brown. It has nothing to do with my genetics of who I am, what I am, of the millions of years and people that it took to produce a Johnny Williams. So I'm here today, again, asking that everyone out there, please learn to be more tolerant of each other. Love your brother, love your sister, follow the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. The world will be a much better place. The change begins with our churches. Our churches can change things if they would just stop fighting amongst themselves. The dogma that exists between Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, unnecessary. You're fighting each other over something that has nothing to do with reality. Reality is someone's captured our energy, our power, and they're using it against us to separate us, conquer, divide. You will conquer to divide. You conquer and divide. You want to separate groups of individuals who, if they come together in love and they come together in unity and for the betterment of each other, can change this world. Anyway, you know what? It's 15 minutes in, and I only get 15 minutes when I do these talks with you guys. So today was just me. I did talk a little bit, tell you a little bit about what Dr. Hill had to say. But today I'm just asking everyone, be more tolerant. Love your brothers, love your sisters. Give everybody a fair shake. Don't judge. Be mindful of that little voice that's talking to you in your head, because if that little voice is talking to you, guess what? Someone is listening, right? Think about it. Every time you're talking to yourself in your head, there has to be someone listening. That's someone, that's something listening. That's your true self. That is you. That is the core of your being. And the core of your being, it's just listening, and it's taking direction, and it's trying to learn from what you teach it. Now, teach it good things. Teach it positive things. Teach it to be open, right? Go forward today with a smile on your face and a song in your heart, a song of love, peace, joy, happiness for everyone you come into. And you're going to change the world. We're going to change the world together. So, with that, I'm going to say thank you for logging in and have a wonderful day and a great week. My name's Johnny Williams, and this is Motivational Minutes. Bye now.